A key reason why the empty quarter is growing is because it has a young population. I'm going to use the census every 10 years. There's a census, and in 2010 they cranked out this particular infographic for every single state. And so over here on the right hand side is a population pyramid, and so we can see the age and sex structure for different states. And so in the case of New Jersey is an older state. We can see its largest group is this particular 50 years old and above age grouping. So New Jersey, very characteristic of the foundry in the Northeast. It's got a very old population. It's got lower birth rates, lower fertility rates, women having fewer and fewer children. Makes sense. Very urban population. Also an area in which women are very highly educated, and so all these various reasons explain why we have thus lower birth rates, and the population pyramid starts to kind of have this inward shape as we get towards the base. Now let's kind of put this in contrast to another particular area, Iowa. So Iowa, very characteristic of the breadbasket. Another characteristic here of Iowa is it has an older aging population, but it's also got a larger young population, but it's essentially the same size. And so here in Iowa, you have a very stable population. You go back to New Jersey, it actually has an inward base. It means the population, all things being equal, should actually go down in the next 20 to 30 years in New Jersey, where Iowa, it should remain and stay very stable. This depends on whether young people are going to stick around in a godforsaken place. Never mind. Going back to the lecture at hand, now let's look at Colorado. We see very stable population, but look at all these people under the age of 60. I mean, it's a very large retired population here in Colorado, but also a very young population. Here we can see why Colorado is poised for growth. Look how big this particular area of the population pyramid is under the age of 60. Look, all these people that are in their 20s and soon in their teens are soon going to be having children. And so this pyramid is just going to continue to be stable and get bigger and bigger over time, especially in the case of Colorado. The key characteristic is a large in-migration. Now let's look at Idaho. Here we see actually even more younger people. And so here a much different pattern than New Jersey. New Jersey had an inward base of the population pyramid, means fewer and fewer younger people. In the case of Idaho, there's more and more young people, and so key to understanding why the empty quarter is poised for even further growth is the fact that they have very young populations. Key to understand that is people moving in are young people, younger families, and younger families thus are having or making babies in the empty quarter. So they're essentially having their children not in New Jersey, not in Iowa, not in Indiana, but instead in Idaho, Colorado, and Utah. And we can really see that with Utah. Look at this. I mean, this is something we see more often than not, like sub-Saharan African countries, the population pyramid. But look at the base. I mean, look how many young people. It's just only growing further and further over time. And so I'll try to explain as I look at each individual state some key patterns as far as why they're growing so much in the empty quarter.